There was a time when the bald eagle, a symbol of strength and resilience, teetered on the brink of extinction. In the 1980s, this was a reality in southern Ontario, Canada, with only 3 nesting pairs remaining, and not a single eaglet could survive due to the devastating effects of DDT poisoning. But fast forward to 2023, and a monumental event occurred. A bald eagle pair nested in Toronto for the first time in recorded history. How did we get from the edge of local extinction to this incredible milestone? The bald eagle is a keystone species, playing a vital role in maintaining the delicate balance of the ecosystems that it inhabits. And as an apex predator at the top of the food chain, the bald eagle helps regulate populations of prey species, such as fish, waterfowl, and small mammals. This top-down control prevents any one species becoming too abundant and potentially damaging the ecosystem. And as bald eagles are known as bioindicators, meaning that their presence and health reflect the overall well-being of their environment, these majestic birds are highly sensitive to environmental contaminants like DDT, PCBs, and heavy metals, which can accumulate in their tissues over time. If bald eagles are thriving in an area, it's a good sign that the ecosystem is healthy and the water is clean. And bald eagles also contribute to nutrient cycling in aquatic and terrestrial habitats. The remains of their prey, as well as their own droppings, fertilize the soil and water, supporting the growth of plants and microorganisms that form the foundation of the food web. In essence, the presence of bald eagles helps maintain the productivity and biodiversity of the ecosystems they call home. Before we keep going, I just wanted to quickly talk to you about the sponsor of today's video, BetterHelp. I know firsthand how difficult it can be to operate in your day-to-day life when you don't feel your best. Working as an environmental scientist and researcher, I've consistently experienced eco-anxiety, imposter syndrome, and self-doubt. The tools and confidence I've gained from therapy have empowered me to create videos like these and connect with all of you. The majority of BetterHelp members seek support for anxiety, and 69% of members report improved anxiety symptoms after 6 weeks of therapy on BetterHelp. It's easy to start. Just fill out a questionnaire and you will match with a therapist as soon as possible. Easily switch therapists anytime at no extra cost if it's not the right fit. They carefully make sure therapists on the platform are well qualified, and their customer support team is there to help you if you have any questions. Let BetterHelp help you rule your anxiety so it doesn't rule you. Click the link in the description or go to betterhelp.com/DavidBysouth and get 10% off your first month of therapy. Beyond their ecological significance, bald eagles hold a special place in the hearts and minds of Canadians. For many Indigenous cultures, the eagle's a sacred being, embodying virtues of strength, wisdom, and spirituality.
Very sacred bird to us and represents so many good things, honor, honesty, charity, life, and all the things that are good.
The eagle features prominently in many traditional stories, dances, and ceremonies, and its feathers are highly prized for ceremonial purposes.
Indigenous community is quietly and respectfully celebrating what this elder is calling a ray of hope.
A great good omen for Toronto. In the Indigenous community, amongst the highest honor you can bestow on anybody is to offer an eagle feather, and they represent something that's really good for the city of Toronto.
However, the bald eagle's journey has been far from smooth. In the early 20th century, habitat loss and rampant hunting decimated populations across North America. The widespread use of the pesticide DDT after World War II dealt another devastating blow.
DDT was banned in the 70s in North America, and we did see a drastic increase with other conservation efforts.
They were at the brink of extinction at that time.
This expert says the bald eagle population reached a low point in the late 1960s, when just a few hundred breeding pairs were left before those regulations took effect.
And DDT caused eggshell thinning and reproductive failure, pushing the bald eagle to the brink of extinction. The year 1980 marked the lowest point for southern Ontario's bald eagles, with only 3 nesting pairs remaining, none of which could successfully produce offspring. It seemed that time was running out on this iconic species.
It's listed as endangered and nearly locally extinct, mostly as a result of hunting and the widespread use of the pesticide DDT. Bald eagles have been making a comeback along the shores of Lake Ontario.
But then a glimmer of hope emerged. The banning of DDT in the 1970s paved the way for a slow but steady recovery as the toxic chemical gradually disappeared from ecosystems. Captive breeding and reintroduction programs in the 1980s helped bolster wild populations. Dedicated conservation organizations, in partnership with the government, launched nest monitoring, banding, and satellite tracking initiatives to help keep a close eye on the eagle's progress. And one of the unsung heroes of the story is the Royal Botanical Gardens, or RBG, here in Ontario. Through their tireless wetland restoration efforts, the RBG created ideal bald eagle habitat in the heart of southern Ontario. In 2013, their hard work paid off when the RBG became home to the first eaglets to hatch on the Canadian shoreline of Lake Ontario in over 50 years. This incredible milestone was a testament to the power of local conservation action. So habitat protection measures on both public and private lands, coupled with the installation of artificial nesting platforms, further aided the eagle's recovery. Slowly but surely, southern Ontario's bald eagles began to reclaim their rightful place in the skies. But before we talk about the impact of these recovery efforts, I just want to let you know that we're on the road to 5,000 subscribers. And it would help the channel a lot if you like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to learn more about the important conservation stories every single week. Now, let's get back to learning all about the recovery of the bald eagle. So the results of these tireless conservation efforts are nothing short of inspiring. In 2011, southern Ontario boasted 71 nesting pairs, a remarkable increase from the 3 pairs in 1980. And today, it's estimated that close to 100 pairs call southern Ontario home. Across the entire province, the number of bald eagle nests has soared to over 2,500. A figure that would have seemed impossible just a few decades ago. But perhaps the most heartening symbol of the bald eagle's resurgence came in 2023 when a pair nested in Toronto, Canada's most populated city, for the first time in recorded history.
That bird is really big. That can't be what I think it is. No, it can't be.
There's a good reason KJ McCusker couldn't believe his eyes. There has never been a documented bald eagle pair nesting in Toronto until now.
This event, coupled with the bald eagle's official declaration as recovered and not at risk in Ontario, marked a monumentous victory for conservation.
The TRCA adding, bald eagles have a low tolerance to contaminants, the nest suggesting that Toronto's aquatic ecosystem continues to improve.
So while we need to celebrate these incredible milestones, it's crucial to remember that the bald eagle's recovery is still fragile. Continued nest monitoring is essential to ensure the progress made thus far is not lost. Protecting nesting and overwintering habitats from the ever-present threat of development is an ongoing battle. Furthermore, reducing lead and other toxic contaminants in the waterways eagles depend on is critical for their long-term survival.
Big concern still here in southern Ontario would be development along shorelines and areas where they would like to nest. They also need massive trees to nest in. The bald eagle can build the largest nest on record. They've actually crushed trees that they've built their nests in.
The return of the bald eagle to southern Ontario, from the RBG's pioneering eaglets to the historic Toronto nesting pair, is a powerful testament to the resilience of nature and the impact of dedicated conservation efforts. However, we must not grow complacent. The bald eagle's recovery is a fragile one, dependent on the continued health of our waterways and habitats.
A caution to Torontonians to let the birds be.
Let's hope that the little eaglets that are hatched this year as a result will just spread their joy around Toronto.
With ongoing commitment and support from all of us, we can ensure that the awe-inspiring sight of bald eagles soaring over southern Ontario skies remains a cherished part of our natural heritage for generations to come. The bald eagle story is one of hope, resilience, and the power of collective action. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.